class, you're going to need some light weights under 5 pounds if you have them. If you don't, no worries, your arms will feel perfectly heavy, and we'll get started. You can start standing. And Irene, I know you said you don't have weights, but I'm going to hold weights. You can just use your arms. Don't worry about it. No, we're not using them now. So you're going to come to stand on your mat, facing whatever direction feels good. And then just take your arms up overhead. And then just roll all the way down. Let your knees be nice and soft. And then shake your head from one side to the other. And then slowly roll yourself all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. And then reach your arms up overhead. And hook your thumbs together, and then side bend over to one side. And then come up to the ceiling or to the center, and then over to the other side. Good. And then from here, you're gonna bring your hands onto your thighs and come into like a semi-squatting position. And then think about just lifting your chest through your arms and then round your spine up towards the ceiling. And then again, coming through into that little extension. And then round back. You can use your legs to support your weight, your body weight. Just try not to press directly onto your kneecaps. And then draw your hips towards your ribs as you round. Let your head drop, relax your shoulders. And then back through one more time. And round your spine again. And then come into a flat back. And then just reach in your flat back towards the floor, getting a nice stretch in your hamstrings. And then round your spine and peel yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. Up to stand nice and tall. And then you're gonna come to lay on your back. And if you have weights, you can grab them. If not, just bring your arms up, straight up towards the ceiling. And then plant your feet on the ground. And let your arms fall back overhead, but keep your ribs connected to the floor, but you're in a nice neutral pelvis. So you have a tiny bit of space under your low back. And then release your arms back straight up towards the ceiling. So you're gonna let your arms fall overhead. Shoulders stay nice and relaxed. And then ribs are heavy, lift back up. 2 more. Lifting your arms up overhead. And back up on your exhale. Last one. Arms overhead. And lift back up. Good. Pause here. And then you're going to bring your right leg up into tabletop, making that little 90-degree shape with your leg. And then tap your right leg back down. Left leg lifts. Alternating one side and then the other. Arms are lifted up towards the ceiling still. Breathing as you go. 2 more to each side. Last one. And then from here, you're going to pause with your right leg up in tabletop. And you're going to let your arms fall open towards the side. Keep your elbows nice and soft. And then you're going to extend your leg, bring your arms up in front of your chest. And then open your arms wide to that T, bend your knee in. And then extend your leg, bring your arms up, and bend your knee, extend your arms out. Keeping your shoulder blades on the floor. If you'd like, you can curl up and lift your head, neck, and shoulders up, but that is not required. 3 more like this. 2. And last one. And then bend your knee in, leave your arms up towards the ceiling, lower your left leg down, or right leg, lift your left leg up. And then extend your leg, open your arms this time. Bend your knee, lift your arms. So extend that leg long, and then bend it back in. And just notice how, as you extend your arms wide to the side, as you extend your leg, your abdominals have to work a little harder on this side. 4 more. I can. 3, 2. And last one. Pause with your arms at the top, lower your left leg down. And now you're gonna bring your right leg back up into tabletop. And then you're gonna extend your you're gonna open your left arm and right leg out to the side, so your knee can stay bent, let it fall out to the side, and then resist and bring it back in. If you'd like, you can extend your arm and leg both long up towards the ceiling, or you can do this in opposition with your knee bent. And then out to the side, keeping your left side as fully connected to the floor as the right. 2. Last one. Good, and then reach your leg long and your left arm overhead. So opposite arm and leg extend, and then bend it back in. And then right leg, left arm, Julio, stop. Sorry. And extend, and bend. 4 more. 3. 2, left arm and right leg are still moving. Last one. Good, and then lower that leg down. Bring your left leg up now. So other side, and then your right arm and left leg will move away from one another, laterally to the side, and then resist to bring it back in. And then open out to the side. And keeping your ribs drawing in towards one another, changing how much you move your arm and leg out to the side, depending on what feels good. 4 more. Keeping your weight even through the center of your body. 2. Last one. Pause at the top and then extend your left leg, right arm, and bend it back in. Opposite arm and leg reach away and back in. 4 more. 4, your shoulder stays nice and relaxed. 3, 2, and last one. And then lower that leg down, and then lower your arms down beside you. And plant your arms down on the floor now. And you're gonna stay laying down on your back, and you're just gonna tuck your tailbone under, press your low back into the mat, and then lift your hips up into a little bridge. So your hips are gonna be off the mat, your shoulders and feet on the ground, and then just lower your hips all the way back down to the floor, tap them down, and then lift them back up. And then tap them down, and lift. 4 more. Think about your feet pressing directly into the floor as you lift your hips. For 3, 2. Last one, pause with your hips lifted. And then you're going to lift your right heel, but keep your toes on the ground, and then drop. And then lift your left heel. And then alternate to the right, keeping your hips nice and still. And alternating from one side to the other. For 5, 4, 3, doesn't matter how high your hips are off the ground. 2, and last one, lift your hips, and then from here, you're gonna bring your right leg up into tabletop, and then lower it back down. And left leg, and back down. Alternating sides. If this is too much at any point, just drop your hips closer to the ground, or you can bring them all the way back down to the ground and do the marching we were just doing a moment ago. Drawing your ribs towards one another, your abdominals are descending towards the floor rather than pushing up towards the ceiling. To the left, 1 more time to each side. Last one to the left. Good, and then bring your right leg up, hold it there. Extend your leg long, and then bend it back in. Extend long. And bend. For 4. And bend. 3, hips stay still and nice and square. 2. Last one. Bring your left arm up, extend your arm and leg overhead, and bring it back in. Same thing we were just doing with our hips on the ground. For 4. 3. 2. Last one. Lower your arm, lower your leg. Switch sides to the left. Lift that left leg up. Extend your left leg long and bend it back in. So leg goes straight, open the back of the knee and bend. For 6, 5, Check in that your hips are nice and square, you're breathing. 3, 2. Last one. Bend that knee and extend your arm up towards the ceiling and extend for 6. Make sure that right leg isn't falling out to the side. Left shoulder blade is still on the mat. 4, 3, 2. And last one. Lower your arm and your leg down. Curl your tailbone under. Lift yourself up as high as feels comfortable. And then peel yourself back down, one vertebrae at a time. Let your hips hit the ground. And then bring your knees into your chest. Give them a little hug. And gently rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then you're going to come onto your right side. So you're going to roll right onto your right side. And you're going to come onto your hip and your forearm, or you can lay all the way down on the floor. I'm going to lay all the way down on the floor. And then you're going to lift your right leg up, but feet stay together. And then you're going to resist and lower that knee back down. So just lift the knee and then lower it down. Tap it toward your other leg. And lift and lower. Making sure your head is in line with your hips and spine, so you're in one nice long line. 5 more like this. 1 second. 4, 3. Oh, my computer's gonna die. 2. The last one, and then just let your leg relax for 1 second. Still laying on your right side. Computer crisis averted. You're going to lift your whole leg up. So instead of keeping your foot connected, you're going to have your knee in line with your hip and foot in line with your knee. And you're going to extend your leg long towards the wall away from your head. And then bend at the knee and bring it back in. And then press and extend like you're going to stand on that leg. So you want your foot right underneath your hip as you press out. And then resist back in. 4 more. And resist. 3. Keeping your hips nice and square, facing forward, not the forward. 2. And last one, leave that leg long. So your leg is all the way underneath your hip. And then you're just gonna lift your heel towards the ceiling and then lift your toe towards the ceiling. You can almost think about keeping your legs still in space if you'd like. Internally and externally rotating from the top of your leg for 4, 3, 2. Last one, leave your leg internally rotated so your heel is lifting up towards the ceiling. Tap your toe towards the floor and then lift the heel for 8, 7. Staying internally rotated. 4. That's not how counting works. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Pause with your leg in the center, rotate your heel towards the floor, toes up towards the ceiling, lower your heel down, and now lift your leg all the way for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, hips stay facing forward, 3, 2, last one, and then bring your legs so that your knee and toes are facing the same direction as your head, and you're just gonna do medium-sized circles for 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and last one, and then bend your knee in, just let it fall forward and give your leg a second to relax. And then you're gonna come up onto, or you're gonna come onto your other side. I will turn over. So same thing, now lying on your left side, you can either be all the way down on your side or on your forearm. Feet stay together, and then you're just going to externally rotate, lift your knee, and then lower your knee down. And then lift the knee and lower. Ideally, your heels are about in line with your foot in the same plane, but if you need to bring them a little bit farther forward, that's totally fine. You can use your top hand for support for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Last one. And then here, lift your whole leg up. So your knee and hip and foot are all on the same line. And then press it long, reach through your heel, and then hinge at the hip, bend that knee in. And then press out. Having your foot right underneath your hip, if you were to lift your head and look, your leg would be underneath you when you're standing, if you were standing. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Leave your leg nice and long, and then you're going to internally rotate and externally rotate. Good. And externally rotate and internally rotate. Keeping that leg nice and still for 5, 4, hips are still. 3, 2, last one. Leave your heel towards the ceiling, toes touch down towards the floor, and lift up and tap it down. And staying internally rotated, hips are still pointing forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then externally rotate. Hips again, stay forward, lift the toe towards the ceiling for 8, 7, don't worry about your foot hitting the ground, 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then lower your leg all the way down. The internet bed. Okay. All right. Laying back on your left side to where we were. Extend your leg all the way long out underneath you. And then you're just going to start to circle, so lift it up, back, and around, keeping yourself square, head in line with your spine for 3, 2, last one, and then reverse. And circle, keeping your bottom leg nice and still for 4, 3, 2, and last one, and then bend your knee in all the way, let it fall down in front of you, and just give your leg a little break. And then from here, come up onto all 4s. So have your hands right underneath your shoulders, and your knees actually slightly back behind your hips. So you're almost in a little bit of a modified plank position, but like not quite all the way there. And then you're just gonna bring your hips back over your feet, and then bring yourself back over your hands. So slide your weight back over your heels, get a little stretch, press your hands into the floor, and then feel your ribs draw toward your hips as you lengthen your spine and bring your weight over your arms. So press back and get a little stretch, and then bring your weight right over your arms. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Pause with your weight forward over your arms, and then you're going to walk your knees right underneath your hips so that you're in a true all 4s position now. And then tuck your tailbone under, round your spine up towards the ceiling, drop your head like an angry cat, and then widen your sitting bones, send your stomach towards the floor, and then lengthen your chest through your arms, looking slightly in front of you, and then round your spine towards the ceiling, and then untuck and lengthen your spine again. 2 more like this, and lengthen. And when you find that length at the front of your body, just keeping your abdominals engaged so you're not sinking. Last one, round up towards the ceiling, coming through to that extension, and then find yourself in all 4s. Extend your right leg back behind you, and then float it up in line with your hip. And then tap it down towards the floor, and float it back up. And lift, and lift. So your weight is nice and square, even on both hands, as you lift and lower for 6, 5, 4 more. Hips stay square to the floor. Body doesn't really move. 3, 2, last one. Leave your leg long and then come down onto your left forearm, but keep your right hand on the floor. Lift that leg back up and then externally rotate the leg. So your toes are facing the right. And then bring your knee in towards your upper arm and then extend it back behind you. And then bend it in and extend. Sort of the fire hydrant E position if you were a dog. For 5, 4, breathing as you go, 3, 2, reaching that leg to where the wall meets the ceiling. Last one, leave that leg bent about halfway, and then bring your knee in line with your other knee, and then open it out to the side. So now you're in that true dog on a fire hydrant position. For 5, 4, 3, your hips can have a little bit of movement here. You don't have to stay completely still. 3, 2, last one. Reach your leg back. Keep your toes pointing the same direction as your face. Tap your foot down towards that right corner, lift it up, and tap it towards the left corner of your mat. Lift, front corner, lift, back corner. Relaxing your shoulders. For 4, 3, make sure you're not just holding your stomach in and holding your breath, you're breathing, but you're also not letting yourself just fall towards the floor. Either last one to each side. And then bring that knee in underneath you. Press yourself back up to your all fours position here. Round your spine up towards the ceiling. Take a nice stretch. And then come through into that little extension again. One more time. And then lengthen. And then find that nice neutral spine so everything's in a nice long line. Extend your left leg back behind you. And then lift it straight up. Toes and kneecap facing towards the floor. Hips face towards the floor. Elbows are soft. For 6. 5, thinking about finding length through the front of your hip. 4, 3, 2, last one. Leave your leg long. Now bring your right forearm down to the ground. Left hand stays on the floor. And then you're going to lift that leg and externally rotate it. And then you're going to bend that knee in towards your upper arm and then extend it long. And then bend it in and extend. For 6. Really thinking about opening up to the back of that leg. Left elbow is soft. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Leave your leg halfway bent and then lower it down in line with your other knee and then open it out to the side like that fire hydrant, like a dog rather, not a fire hydrant. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Extend your leg long, tap it down and touch it towards the front of your mat, lift and tap it to the back. Lift and tap to the front. Your knee and toes stay facing forward, so towards that left side. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. Tap it to the back, and then bring your knees underneath you. Bring them nice and wide, almost as wide as your mat, and then reach back. Reach your hands forward, reach your hips back, and find a nice child's pose here. You can rock your head from one side to the other on the floor, if that feels good. And then just find a position that feels nice here. Think like someone is putting a stack of books on your sacrum to help lengthen it away from your head, giving your spine a little bit more space. And then walk your hands over to the left. Press your hands into the floor. Reach your hips back to the right, still staying in this child's pose position. And then over to the other side. Press your hands into the floor on the right, hips to the left. And then come back to the center. And you're going to come to lay on your stomach, which I am not going to. So you can lay all the way down on your stomach and have your forehead resting on your hands. And I will just do this kneeling. So you want your hips to be pressing into the ground. Tuck your tailbone under a little bit so you have length in your low back, and then feel your abdominals draw away from the floor, ribs up towards your hips. Shoulders are relaxed. And then you're going to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up, slide your shoulder gently down your back as you come up into a tiny little extension here. And slowly lower all the way back down. And then again, lifting yourself up. Tailbone is tucked under, hips and pubic bone press into the floor, and then come back to the center. Down, not center. Two more just like this. Finding that little bit of extension where the right in the mid back and back down. This time you're going to lift up and you're going to pause. Feel your abdominals draw away from the floor. Extend your arms back by your sides, palms up towards the ceiling. And then press your palms up, lift your torso up a tiny bit higher. Pause there with your torso, let your arms lower down, and then float them back up. So you're just pulsing through the arms, pressing through the palms, the elbow, the tricep, up towards the ceiling for 8, 7, holding that little extension, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, pause here, bend your arms, that your palms are right underneath your shoulders, extend your arms overhead, and then do a little breaststroke, so swap, bring your arms out to the side, then back underneath you, staying in that extension. Neck is nice and long, tuck your chin a little bit, sweep your arms back by your side, 2 more, lift them up in front of you, tuck the tailbone under a little bit more, press the feet into the floor, arms extend, last one, back by your side, bring your hands to the shoulders, and then lower everything all the way down to the ground, and then just give yourself a little rock in your hips from one side to the other, release your low back, and then you're going to press yourself back through a child's pose, and then come to stand. And if you're using weights, you can grab them, and if you are not using weights, then you're just going to bring your arms with you, which is a requirement. So go ahead and, regardless of what you're doing with the weights, you're going to bring your elbows by your side and your palms out to the side, and then you're going to bring your legs externally rotated in a squat position. And you're just going to take a squat, knees over your toes, and then stand all the way back up, leaving your palms still for just a moment. Feel like you're going to squeeze your heels towards one another and wrinkle your mat as you come up. Keeping your tailbone tucked ever so slightly, staying nice and upright through the torso for 4, 3, 2. Last one. And from here, you're going to come halfway down and you're going to extend your arms out to the side and then bend them back in. So you're staying in a half squat, whatever height feels good. Making sure that your knees aren't falling in. You're pressing through your whole foot down into the ground. Extend your arms and bend them back in for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Bend the elbows in, stand and extend the arms, bend and bring the arms in. Stand and extend, bend and bring them back in for 6, 5, still pressing through that whole foot, 4, 3, 2, last one, stay down, and then you're going to cross one arm over the other and then open out and cross. Again, making sure your knees aren't falling in. Breathing here, still keeping that engagement through the abdominals for 4, 3, tuck the tailbone under a little bit more, 2, last one, and stand all the way up. You can shake your legs out for a moment, and then you're going to come to stand with your feet parallel now. And you're going to start with your arms up by your shoulders, and you're going to squat down and extend your arms long back behind you into a little tricep extension. And then as you stand back up, you're going to bend them. And then squat and extend, bend and lift. And as you squat, your torso can pitch forward slightly, keeping your head in line with your spine. So making sure you're not still looking at the exact same spot on the wall as you squat. For 4. 3, think about holding an imaginary ball or block in between your thighs. 3, 2, last one, stay down, and then bend your elbows in and extend. And bend and extend. Tuck your tailbone under ever so slightly so you're in a nice flat back, neck is nice and long. For 4, 3, 2. Last one, leave your arms back behind you. Lower your arms down and pulse them up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2. Last one. Bend the elbows in, lower the arms down. And this time, you're going to stand all the way up. And then squat halfway down, lift the arms out to a T, lower the arms, and stand all the way back up. And then squat down, lift the arms to a T, and stand back up. 4 more. Feel your ribs draw in towards one another, your abdominals away from your thighs, as you open your arms and resist to bring them back in. 2. And last one. Stay down here. Then you're going to open your arms to a T, bend at the elbows, and then extend long. Bend at just the elbow and extend for 8. Taking your abdominals with you. 5, 4, 3. Neck is long. 2. Tuck the tailbone under slightly. Last one. And then lower the arms all the way down. Stand all the way up. Good. From here, bring your right leg out to the side. And then extend your arms on a slight angle to the left. And then you're going to bring your right foot off the ground, so you're in a nice balancing position here. And then bring your knees to your elbows, and then extend long. And then bring your knee to your elbows, and extend. Focusing on your balance, especially if you're on that slight angle. You can think about extending your torso more out to the side, rather than upright, if that works for you. For 3, 2, and last one. And then bring yourself all the way up upright. Bring your left leg out to the side, side bend slightly over to the right, and then bring your knees to meet your elbows to meet your left knee. And extend for 8, 7, 6, right knee soft. 3, 2, and last one. And then come all the way upright. From here, bring your arms back towards your shoulders. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, just to that hinge position. And you're gonna bring your right leg back behind you. You can extend it or you can keep it bent. And you're gonna extend your arms, but then you're gonna bring everything underneath you. And then extend everything long. And then you're gonna come back upright. So you're starting in this single leg position, arms by your shoulder, or hands by your shoulders. Extend long. And then bend the knee in, bring the elbows in. Extend everything back long again. One more time, bring it in underneath you. Extend, and come all the way back upright. We're gonna do 2 more like this. Obviously, stop as you need. You can also drop your weights. Extend the right leg, the arms. Bend everything in underneath you. Extend, bend it in one more time. Extend, and then come all the way back up. One more time. Extend everything long, ribs come with you, hips are square to the floor, bend in, and extend, bend, and extend, and come all the way up. Shake your legs out. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So left leg comes up in the tabletop, hips are square. Extend your left leg, both arms. Bend everything underneath you, and extend. Bend it in. Extend, and then hinge around that right leg. Come back up to stand tall. Hinge around the right leg, extend, bend it in for 1, 2, neck is long, back up, 2 more. Reach and extend, bend it in for 1, 2, shoulders are relaxed, coming all the way up. Last one. Hinge around that right leg. These don't get easier, they only get harder. 1, 2, and then come all the way up. Okay. Bring your legs nice and wide. Drop your weights if you're using them towards the floor. You don't need them. And then bring your arms out wide to the side. Toes are facing forward. And then just reach your right arm to the outside of your right leg. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. And let it fall over to the side. Just make sure you're not pressing directly onto your kneecap. And then come all the way up. Slide your left leg down your leg, side up and over. Reach your right arm towards the ceiling. And then let it fall all the way over. And then come back up with your legs wide. Round all the way forward over your legs. And then bend your right leg and put your weight all the way towards that right side. So you're getting a stretch through your left inner thigh. And then walk your hands over to the left, bending your left leg, stretching through the right inner thigh. One more time to each side. Having your feet as wide as feels comfortable. And last one over to the left. Good, and then pause in the center. Shake your head yes and shake your head no. And then walk your feet in towards the center. Stay rounded forward over your legs and slowly peel yourself up. 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring your arms up overhead. 1 more side bend each side. Poke your thumbs. Side bend up and over to the right. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep breath into your left ribs. Exhale, come all the way up. And then inhale over the right. Shoulders are relaxed. Breathing into your right ribs. And then on your exhale, come all the way up. And then press your arms all the way down. Think about the crown of your head going up towards the ceiling. And you're all finished. Thanks. Thank you. Sorry for the super fun internet.